These stories were sent in by people who experienced something terrifying during a school lockdown. Whether you believe them or not, that's up to you.
Number 3.
This happened to me in 10th grade, back in 2018. I went to a fairly small high school in Michigan, and at the time, our district had been getting prank lockdown calls almost every few weeks. So when the intercom crackled and the principal announced a lockdown during third period, we all thought it was another false alarm. My class did what we were supposed to. Lights off, doors locked, everyone in the corner of the room away from windows. A few minutes passed. Nothing happened. Then we heard footsteps in the hallway. At first we assumed it was a security guard or maybe the police, but the steps were weird, really slow and heavy, almost like someone dragging their feet. Then came a knock on the door, not the police code. Just 3 slow knocks. Everyone in the room froze. My teacher looked terrified. She didn't move, didn't say anything. I was sitting close enough to see the small rectangular window in the door, and I swear I saw a shadow there. A tall figure, probably over 6 feet, just standing there. I couldn't make out any details, but they weren't moving, just standing. After about 20 seconds they walked away. The steps faded down the hallway, and we didn't hear anything else for the rest of the lockdown. Later that day, we were told it had just been a drill. But my friend's older brother works as a janitor at the school, and he told her there were no drills planned that day. The creepiest part? The cameras in our hallway weren't working that morning. That's what the school said. Technical failure. I don't know what that thing outside our door was, but I've never looked at lockdowns the same way since.
Number 2.
My name's Elena, and I used to volunteer in my school library during 12th grade. This was back in 2019. I'd spend the last period shelving books and helping the librarian with whatever she needed. One afternoon, we had a surprise lockdown. No warning, no drill scheduled. The librarian wasn't in the room at the time. She'd stepped out to grab something from the office. So I was completely alone. I followed the rules, locked the doors, turned off the lights, and hid under the circulation desk. A few minutes passed. I was texting my friend across the hall, just bored and kind of annoyed. But then, I heard whispering. It was really faint, but it was coming from inside the library, not the hallway. That made no sense. I was alone. Or, at least I thought I was. The whispering got clearer. It was a voice, a girl's voice, maybe 10 or 11 years old. She kept saying the same thing over and over. "He's coming! He's coming!" I was completely frozen. I looked out from under the desk, but I didn't see anyone. The lights were off, but there was still enough daylight through the windows to see. The voice just kept going, then suddenly stopped. Silence. When the lockdown ended, I was seriously shaken. I asked the librarian if she'd come back at all. She said no. She was stuck outside during the whole thing. Later, we checked the library's cameras. No one else was in the room, but there was audio. And if you listen really closely, you can just barely hear it. He's coming.
Number 1.
This happened at my middle school in Georgia in 2017. Our regular English teacher was out for a week, so we had a substitute, Mr. Langley. That's what he wrote on the board. He was weird, super quiet, never smiled, wore these huge glasses and all black clothes like he was going to a funeral. He didn't talk much, just gave us worksheets and sat at the desk all class. Anyway, during third period, we suddenly went into lockdown. There was an announcement that someone suspicious had been seen near the back exit of the school. We all followed the usual routine, hiding under desks, staying quiet, but Mr. Langley didn't say a word. He just pointed to the floor and turned the lights off. One kid noticed he didn't even lock the door. A few minutes later, the classroom door opened by itself. It creaked slowly, but no one was there. Everyone was staring at it, terrified. One of the girls started crying. When we all looked back at Mr. Langley, he was gone. Like, not crouched, not hiding. He wasn't in the room at all anymore. We thought he ran out to check or something, but when the lockdown ended, he never came back. The school tried to follow up with the sub-agency the next day, but they had no record of a Mr. Langley being assigned to our school. In fact, they had no one by that name in their system at all. We even checked the sign-in log, and someone had signed in that morning with really shaky handwriting, but the security footage, it showed a man walking in, but never walking out. No one knows who he was. Lockdowns are meant to protect us, but sometimes they reveal something we were never meant to see. Whether it's a whisper in the dark, or someone who isn't supposed to exist. The scariest part is, you never know until it's too late. Stay alert, stay safe, and next time your school goes into lockdown, make sure you're really alone.